Hey everybody, happy Homebrew Wednesday. It's Brad here, PNC Wild Boys Brewery channel. I hope everybody's having a good one. Don't have a whole lot going on this week to report as far as my homebrew goes. I haven't brewed since my last video was put up last week. Got some short clips of the Dunkle and Hefe Weizen. You can't see the Hefe because it's in a food grade bucket. And my Belgian strong dark ale, I got it covered up with a t-shirt and I just lazy and didn't uncover it. It's just looks like dark beer in a carboy. But still got those three going. Hey everybody, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Back here in the brew room. I'll show you what I got going on this week. It's just basically the same thing I had going on. Got my Dunkle Weizen and Hefe Weizen are still aging out, and my Belgian's still aging out in the secondary. I'll flip these around and check them out. The Dunkle Weizen's in a carboy. You can see it kind of kicked back in a little bit and started getting some more foam on the top. So it wasn't quite done yet. You can see it's got some yeast stuck to the side of the carboy. Have the Belgian, it's covered up so you can't see it. It's been going longer than the other two, and then I just cleaned I only have two carboys, so I just put the Hefe Weizen back in that. The lid's still kind of swelled up on it. You can see just barely touch it and it's bubbles, so it's still got positive pressure on it, so it's still going. I'm going to probably let it go about one more week and then I'll bottle that. That's pretty much it. I've got those three beers going, and that's it on the homebrew. Haven't brewed anything else. Haven't brewed my mead. Just had some other things going on. Really hadn't had a chance to go get the honey and stuff. I'll be doing that soon. If you haven't seen the video I put up of Starlight Meadery, I didn't video the tasting, but I did video the tour. We were back in the brew room, I guess you put it. The brewery part of it is pretty cool. It's a little bit lengthy. It's around about half an hour, so if you can't watch it all at one time, just watch bits and pieces of it as you can. It's pretty interesting. If you're interested in doing any mead, the brewmaster there, Ben, he answered a bunch of the questions that we had. There was another guy there that brewed mead, and of course I homebrew, and he said that our tour took about twice as long as most of the tours he gives, because we were asking questions about brewing and stuff, so it was pretty cool. Watched Jameson do he opened up his growler on his video with his 1 pound pale ale on it. Had a real nice pop on it. These Blackberry Mocha Stouts that I did last February, every time I open one of these up, it sounds like a gun going off, so I figured I might do an opening of mine, see if I can get as good a pop as he got. So let's check it out. This is my Blackberry Mocha Stout. Yep. And you got the smoke coming out, and no mad rust overflow, so everything looks happy. And I'll go ahead and get a pour on this. Would you like some head with your beer? Or some beer with your head? Now I'll let that thing settle down for a few minutes. Got a little bit left in the bottom. As it settles down, I'll go ahead and pour that in. This was my second beer I ever made, and it turned out really good. If you watch my Blackberry, or not Blackberry, my first all grain tasting video I did earlier this week, it was a chocolate coffee stout. This was the first stout I made. It was a Blackberry Mocha Stout. Now trube is settled pretty well to the bottom. Yum. Tastes like chocolate blackberry coffee with a little hint of beer mixed in with it there. Still hasn't settled down good. Got some massive bubbles and gigantic yogurt head on it. I haven't sampled this one on camera yet, I don't think, so. Can't smell anything through the head, so I'm going to let that settle down. Just going by what it's tasted like before, you get the blackberry on it on the tail end. Drinking it is just basically a coffee stout. It's real nice. To have been the second beer I've ever done, I was really happy with the way it turned out. Head's falling down on it now pretty good. Get a nose on it here in a minute. Alright, so the head on this thing's fell down now to where I can smell it. Just trying to see if you can see any of the, I know it's got massive carbonation, but you can't really see it. Let's get a nose on it. Chocolate, coffee, some roasted malts off of it. This was an extract brew, and you really can't tell it by the way it tastes. It's about a little over 13 months old now. And it has mellowed out wonderfully. All the flavors have melded together really good. It's a kick-ass coffee stout. Unfortunately, they're almost all gone. I think I got about 8 of them left, 8 gross bottles, or I haven't let very many people try this one because I've been kind of greedy with it because it turned out so good. Turned out real nice. Great coffee stout with some blackberries in it. If you haven't tried putting blackberries in your coffee stouts or your coffee porters or just stouts or porters in general, give it a try. It tastes really good. They've got enough sweetness and tartness both in them to they almost kind of balance themselves out. So if you put them in there, it just adds another dimension to the flavor of your beer. Stouts are generally kind of bitter anyway unless you make them sweet. Do a milk stout or something like that, or you can pretty much make it whichever way you want to with your recipe as you're doing it. Honey works really good in them too. If you haven't tried putting honey in your beers, check that out. I wouldn't recommend putting any more than a pound in there because if you do, then it's just liquid sugar. It will boost your ABV up way high unless that's what you want. And I also want to do a shout out to all my subs. I've got like 55 people subscribed to my channel. I think that's awesome. Had no idea when I started doing this that I would get that many people that quickly. I know there's a lot of other people out there that's got a whole lot more people than I do, and that's great. When I reached the 20 people mark, I was excited. I know I don't really say anything about it much when I'm doing my videos, but shout out to all my subs. You guys are awesome. I look forward every week to all the comments that you give me, and just the back and forth we have with each other. That's a great milestone for me. I never thought I'd have that many people that were watching my channel or sub to it on a weekly basis and checking out what I got going on. This homebrew community thing is really taking off here on YouTube. I know a lot of you have been on here for years and years and years. A lot of you are like me. You're just getting into homebrewing. Maybe you've been homebrewing for a while and you're just getting into the YouTube thing. I've been homebrewing now for since last January, January of 2011. I did partial extracts for the first year. Then I moved over to all grain. I actually still do both. A lot of times I'll do 2 brews in a day. I will do an all grain and then sparge the grains a little more and do some extract with it. That's like what I did with my Hefe Weizens. I did the Hefe Weizen straight all grain and the Dunkle Weizen's partial extract. So I still like doing both. It all boils down to how much time you want to invest in your day on your brew day. I'm not going to get into the debate about which one's better. It's personal choice. It all boils down to time. I've made some great extract brews. People's tried them, so they couldn't tell they were extract. And I'm a newbie at it. I've only been doing it for a little over a year. And some of these beers I'll let people try were like this Blackberry Mocha Stout, the second beer I ever made, and it turned out awesome. So if you follow the directions on the can, watch these videos people are putting up. I got into it watching Craig Tube videos and got my own beer kit and started doing it. The biggest thing is just don't be scared of trying something different. Get your basics down and then go from there. As long as your sanitation's good and you're using fresh ingredients and you're within reason on the ranges of the temperatures and stuff that these directions are calling for, your beer's going to turn out good. It'll turn out better than any macro lager you'll buy. So if you're thinking about getting into homebrew and you just haven't made the commitment yet, it's a little bit of an expensive hobby, but once you buy your equipment, you just keep using it over and over and over, and the only thing you're buying every time you make your batch of beer is your ingredients. It's like S.J. Poor says, enjoy the fruits of your labor and brew beer. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. Cheers.